Let's go make this precious tassel, but first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. Y'all are gonna get tired of hearing me talk about the Sweet Lion brand people. They were so nice. I passed their booth every single morning and every single afternoon, and I spoke to them. They worked so hard to make their booth so pretty. And when I was leaving the last day of H&H, they gave me this yarn. And I said, but I don't crochet. And so one of the girls said, do something that's not crochet. So now the brain is clicking, right? Well, I got this tassel maker at the Clover booth. And let me show you how it works. You take the end of your yarn. Now my yarn is really fat, so it's a rather interesting tassel, but it kind of ends up looking like the trees on the Lorax. You take the end of it and you put it in this notch, and then you just wind it around. And if you didn't know, your yarn pulls out from the center. So if you start it and you pull it out from the center, your yarn will stay together and you won't have like a big piece of, you know how you do when you start it at the end and then it's coming unwound and it's hard to store. Pull it from the center and that'll take care of that. So after you wind it, and I'm going to wind mine really thick because it's so cute how it turns out. This tassel maker is adjustable, so you can make it shorter. I'm making the longest one it'll allow because my yarn is so thick. If I were using like thread or something that was thinner, you may want a shorter tassel. And in that case, you would just adjust your tassel maker shorter and you would have a shorter tassel instead of this big one that I'm going to have. After you have as much on it as you want, then you feed it underneath the little gap on the opposite side. Let me find it. There we go. It's fed here to start and here to end. Then I'm going to cut it off. Now, if you have a tassel string that's like the hook and that's tied in a knot, you would put that on here in just a minute, but I don't. I'm going to create mine with this same piece of yarn. So I'm going to go around the center of it and tie a knot as tight as I can. And then I'm going to tie a second knot because I want it to be double knotted so that it hopefully won't come undone, or that's the plan. All right, so we've tied 2 knots. Now I'm going to cut this off roughly the same length as the tassel. And if you had one of those pieces that I'm talking about, oh, let me show you. If you had, they make like tassel, I guess probably kits, but definitely different pieces. If you had a piece like this for it to hang from, then after you tie your knot, you would come in underneath it in the center and push your bow part, your round part in, and then on the back, you come over your string where you tied your knot back through the center like this, and you would feed it in like this. So you would have a place to tie it. Or actually, if you started with this end, you'd have the pretty end to tie it. So then that's what you would have. Now, all you do is take your scissors and cut right here. And for those of y'all who are Dr. Seuss fans, tell me if you don't think this looks like the trees from the Lorax. I was so tickled when I made the first one because I was like, it looks just like the Lorax trees. Look at how cute that is. It looks like a mop, the Lorax trees. It's adorable. And you can make all different kinds of tassels depending on what you want. Now, I'm making these because I'm hanging them from the curtain rod in this room back here, or a few of them anyway. If you have a tassel maker and you've ever used one, tell me all your tips and tricks because I love a new trick, especially when it turns out this cute. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.